What up, people? Welcome back to Let's Talk Podcast with your boy, Dustin Calloway. Yes, I got my shirt on. Got it on again. I think I wore this on another episode before. It's called The Man, the Myth, the Legend. I love this shirt. So before we get this thing kicking, before we get it popped off, I would like to ask y'all to please smash that like button. Please subscribe to my channel and turn on that bell notification. So when I do post a new video, you will get the notification. All right, y'all? I need y'all support on this. I'm trying to grow this thing. Recently, I just discovered that it was a lot of stuff that I had to clean up on my YouTube page, man. It was all out of whack. Talking about the tags, all that stuff, my titles. So for some of you new people or people that are still, subscribed, that are already subscribed, if you go back and look at the titles, they're a little bit different. I had to clean it up a little bit. So yeah, let's get into this episode, man. I got a few things that I want to discuss today. And as usual, I know I'm going to make some people mad, but hey, you'll be all right. If the shoe fits, wear it. Okay. So I got a question for y'all. Do you ever feel trapped? I'm talking about just trapped, like you just trapped inside of here. Do you feel like you can't be who you want to be? You feel like you can't be yourself because everybody around you try to talk you into being a certain way to make them feel comfortable with you? Do you ever feel like that? Like when you get around a group of people, the mass majority of that group of people, they all think one kind of way. But the second you say something a little bit different or something that goes against the grain of what everybody else is thinking or feeling, they look at you funny. They treat you funny. They act like they don't want to be around you. Or they just stop messing with you for real because you think different than them, or simply because you're just being yourself. I know for myself, for years, man, years and years of my life, I did a lot of bending myself up into little different pieces of somebody else to make other people feel comfortable around me or to make people just feel comfortable, period. And then at a certain point in my life, I woke up and decided that I was done with that, man. I was done. I'm like, I can't do this anymore because eventually it starts to weigh on this, man. And then eventually you might end up going crazy, man, if you don't take control and be yourself. Prime example. When I first started working at my job, this was 14 years ago. I would go in and I would watch the people that work there already, and I would watch how they operate on the phone. And I would kind of mold myself into being like them, talking like them, being on the phone. Hello, thank you for calling, blah, blah, blah. My name is Dustin. How may I help you? I found myself pretending to be a certain type of way to make those people happy instead of just being myself and talking like this. Like, I don't talk crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not ignorant when I'm at work. I don't talk crazy or nothing like that. I just talk regular, just like this. But when I was using that fake voice, I felt like I was doing it to make my manager happy. I was doing it to make, the people that listen to the calls happy, and it almost drove me crazy. But, I had to make a change. I had to, because I felt like I was not being myself. And that's just a minor example. It could be with your family. Your family will get used to you being this one type of way, right? They get used to the person that they thought they grew up knowing. They set you into this little box, this box in their mind where this is where you're going to stay. This is who you're going to always be. And really don't even take the time to realize that people evolve. I'll say that again. People evolve, man. People change. People go People grow up. Some people don't grow up. Some people fall all the way off. Others grow up. Some people, their minds open up and they go in a totally different direction, man. And they change. And I think the issue with people, when it comes to even just family, like, I think they find it hard to accept that. You know, they find it hard to accept that baby boy done grew up, man. Or baby boy done learned about something different where it changed the way that he looking at things now. And he just kind of questioning this and that and having different feelings about that and this. And sometimes they don't want to accept it, you know, like, and this could be your family. And we can even talk about friends, right? You know, you can be in with a group of friends and your friends are always used to you being one kind of way. And we all think the same. We all go out and party the same. We all go out and have drinks. We do this and we do it all the same over and over. But the second you and those friends get a chance to sit down and y'all start having a conversation about real life, and they start seeing that you talking about something totally different on a different wavelength, next thing you know, your phone don't ring no more. You know, they ain't hitting you up no more to go hang out. Or they really don't want to be in the same room with you because you force them to live in reality too much. You know? It be like that sometimes, man. So again, the question, man, do you ever feel trapped? Do you ever feel alone based off of that? It's a really lonely place, man, when you start to evolve your thinking process outside of the majority, the group. So again, are you being comfortable? Are you being yourself? Or are you being who other people want you to be to keep them comfortable around you? I know it gotta hurt. Cause like I said, man, I was that person, man. I was that person. And when I just said it's a lonely place to be when you start to think different and you move different, it is a lonely place to be because you'll be surprised, or you shouldn't be surprised, but when you start thinking different, you start to realize, you start to see all the BS conversation around you. And it kind of make you not want to be there, or it'll force you to a position where when you're in that group of people, you're around that group of people, you start changing it up a little bit, like, right? Like you'll start taking a conversation and you'll go a totally different direction with it, right? So it'll, you know, once those people start to isolate you out, right? Box you out, don't invite you to no more events. It can get a little lonely, you know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is, man, honestly, you just got to find that group of people that fit into that box, that new, now I won't even say a box, the world that you live in. And I think that's what I had to realize too for myself. Like, damn, it is kind of lonely out here, man, when you think the way that I think, when you respond to things the way that how I respond to things. It's a lonely world, man, because when you take your mind back, man, and you think like me, let me go back, right, on myself to tell you, just to give you an idea. And I know I talked about this before on the previous episode of how I got to that point where, you know, I just became part of the group. And really, it goes back to how you were raised, man. If you grew up in a house where every Sunday y'all going to church, right? And in church, they preaching the same messages over and over again, right? And they teach you, you know, about basically teach you how to stay controlled. To me, that's what I got from it. So it kind of teaches you not to go against the grain. To me, it teaches you not to question. It just teaches you to have faith and don't question anything. So it just kind of, that's where my life was, you know, growing up, you know, not to say that we were like super duper churchy, no, but that's kind of, that was the foundation, you know, like I'm gonna set this foundation in here and this is how you need to live your life, right? So you don't question anything. And it was a terrible place for me to live, man. That was a terrible idea. And I think it's a terrible idea for anyone nowadays, you know, like I won't even say, I'm sorry, excuse me. Let me stop. Let me take that back. Not terrible, because some people need structure, right? But some people But I won't necessarily say that they need to get it from a church, right? You know what I'm saying? This could be your version of a church. And I don't know if y'all even noticed yet. I ain't saying all the crazy cuss words like I usually do. Just thinking, I'm taking my time with this. I'm taking my time. I'm walking you through this. But this could be your version of church. This right here. This could be your version of church. You know, somebody that's out here, you know, that just want to have a conversation with you, that is not out to get you. I don't want to take anything from you. I just want to see you move a little bit different. I want to see you move right. Or I'm just let me help navigate you or guide you through this thing, man. Because I've been walking it. I done been through the ups and downs. I done been through it all. I won't say all, because, you know, certain situations I just won't put myself in, just because I know I can already see what's going to happen if I go that route. So I was that kid that didn't really have to touch the fire to know that it was hot. I saw you get burned. You see what I'm saying? So this could be your version of a church. My version of the church that I was brought up in, you know, I'm in church hearing all this good stuff, but then on the backside of things, I'm seeing the messed up stuff. So you go to this church where they talking about the good stuff, but you go home to your version of hell, whatever you may think hell is. So yes, some people probably need more than just a conversation. They probably do need church, because I seen church, you know, turn some good people out of, you know, some people get, you know, they came out of church all right. But then also I seen way more people go and leave there with nothing. They went in, they thought that just hearing words, somebody talking to you, some music, people singing and all this, it made them feel good inside to the point where they cried. They thought that it was going to make them, it was going to change their life. And it don't change your life at all. It can make you think different. It can open up some thoughts up in your brain that make you want to do better. But church is over, what, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and you going home back to your situation. So it ain't really doing too much, right? But my version of church here, my conversation with you, I ain't talking out that book or whatever book these people read out of, whatever it is. I ain't talking out that book. I'm talking out the real life book, man. So back to what I was saying. Do you ever feel trapped, man? Do you ever feel like you can't be yourself around people? Do you feel like they won't accept you for who you are because you've evolved and you think different, you act different? If you feel like that, reach out to me. I think we need to talk. We need to form our own group of people who think like us. Free thinkers. And we're going to move on to the next topic. So moving on to this next topic, man. This topic, it hits a little hard. It hit home for me because everything that I'm about to talk about, I was this person before. Okay. So let me start off by saying this. Look, everyone is not responsible for what happened to you. Hear me when I'm saying this. Everyone that you encounter in life, they're not responsible for what happened to you. Right? Don't walk into a new relationship, right, carrying the past hurt into that new relationship. That man that did that to you, or that woman that did that to you, or that whatever you want to call it, did that to you, whatever person did that to you, did whatever they did to you, the new person that you just met, they didn't do that to you. So I'm at the barbershop, right? This is yesterday. And we get to having this conversation, right? Me and one of my dudes that came up in there. And we get to talking about how I see a lot of men on social media destroying women, saying, and it was just about black women. Black women ain't this, and black women all hard to deal with. Black women got attitude problems. Black women got this, and black women got that. Pretty much talking about all of them. And I'm listening to my man talking. I'm like, hey, my man, how do you... I'm thinking it's common sense, man. If you really think about it, it got to be common sense. But nah, common sense, it don't hit everybody the same. So I said, hey, my man, in order for you to be able to say all black women are this, they ain't that, they this, and they that, I said you would have to be with every one of them, right? You would have to have a single experience with every one of them, right? Because you're saying that all of them are like this and all of them are like that. That means that you dated every one of them, right? Or you had some type of encounter with 100% of them walking this earth today. Hear what I'm saying? So he was like, yeah, man. No, they all like that. I'm like, nah, my man. I said, that lady that's sitting out there in the front with her son, have you ever had one encounter with her, one experience with her? He said, no. So I said, so without having any encounters with her, no experience with her whatsoever, you saying that she the same as that lady that you had that bad experience with? Oh no, man, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I ain't never had no. I'm like, exactly. So we go into this conversation where I'm like, look, man, we got to change the way that we think about stuff. We have to. If we do not change the way we think, we'll never have a successful relationship, right? You was just with a chick, right? She cheated on you. She played you. She lied to you, stole money from you, made some deals go bad for you. So you lost this and you lost all of that, right? That was your experience with her, right? With her. The lady next door, you don't know her. The lady at your job that you never say anything to, you don't know her. You've never had an experience with her. And I'm sorry that I got to keep repeating this because I'm like, this is common sense to me, but I'm like, I don't understand why we think the way that we do when it comes down to what people do to you. Just because that man, let's go into the females. They do the same thing. They go on social media talking all this crap about how man ain't this and man ain't that. Have you experienced every one of us? Have you? So that means that you just date. You messed around with all of us, and 100% of us did you dirty. No, you don't even know me. You don't know that man over there. You don't know what he gonna do to you. Yeah, do men play games? Yes. Do men do women dirty? Yes. But that man that did that woman dirty did that woman dirty. Not all men. So, to get back to my topic, everyone is not responsible for what happened to you. At one point in time, I was so beat down in my life over stuff that happened to me in multiple relationships, right? Which is probably karma for what I did to women back in the days. Okay, cool. I'll accept that. But I was so beat down on these serious relationships that I really wanted to work. I'm like, I'm here. We're going to make this thing work. And when they went bad, so ripped out of me. Do you know? I took all of that pain with me and packed my bags and I left. I thought I left the bags there. I left that bag there. That's what I at least thought. That bag came with me. And you know where that bag followed me? It followed me into every relationship after that because I didn't unpack it. I just came in, and as I saw the new person that I was with doing stuff, and it kind of reminded me of the other person, I'm like, let me pull from this bag and look at this. Yep, you the same person. So I'm gonna treat you just like how she, like her, because I'm gonna leave you because you remind me of her, right? But again, remember, I ain't never really had too much of an experience. You're a new person. But I'm bringing that old baggage with me because I'm thinking, I'm not using common sense, and I'm not telling myself that, hey, I don't know her. what she did to me in the past, the other girl, that's I gotta leave that there. Now, don't get me wrong. Life lessons are important, right? When we start talking about relationships, life lessons are important. So, as I started working on getting over that stuff that hurt me in the past, I started unpacking that bag, throwing that stuff in the trash, but I built a lesson in my mind to go with my situation, right? To say, I started asking myself, what did I learn from that past mistake, from that past relationship? What did I learn, right? So that before I even move into another relationship, let me make sure that I'm gonna vet this person the next time, right? So I'm not gonna just jump right into the relationship. I'm gonna try, because sometimes you do end up just jumping into some things. I'm gonna try to vet this person, right? I'm gonna vet them out and see, okay, if everything aligns. I know which red flags to start looking for, right? Because that's what it is. You start looking for red flags instead of ignoring all the red flags and then you just jumping straight into it, right? That can go bad. But that's not to say that you're not prepared, right? You can still be prepared, but just know that now that you're in that relationship, you're going to have to battle it out while you're in it versus saying, hey, I saw this up front, I'm good, peace. So you're going to just have to battle it out. But I've been there, you know. So what I do is I would take everything that I went through as I started trying to heal and unpack that stuff, and I just applied it as a life lesson. That's it. And I asked myself, what did I learn from the person that I was with in the past? And we can keep going back. It ain't got to be just the last person that you was with, right? Every relationship that you've been in, there's a lesson. It's a lesson. It's something that you learned from that relationship, right? Some people don't learn anything, though. Some people just see red, and that's all they see. And then we end up back with the all women ain't this and all men ain't that. That's how we end up back there, right? Because don't nobody want to heal. They don't want to heal. They just want to go to the next person who they think can make them feel good and make them forget about what they went through versus healing. Trust me, I've been that person before. I didn't heal. I just moved on to the next person. And guess what? The next person got the wrath of what that last person did to me, and I'm not even thinking about it. Not even thinking about it. It just happened, right? You just pour the fire out of you. As soon as that new person do one thing to you, you're like, no, you just like her. You can't do that, man. You have to take time to heal, man. And sometimes it is lonely when you got, you just got to heal and be alone. And I'm going to just be real coming from just being a man. Some men, I'm just going to be real with you. Like me personally, during my healing process, I still messed with chicks. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't nobody that I was going to get serious with though. But I still did mess with chicks during my healing process because I'm like, all right, I want to heal, but I ain't finna just be doing this alone and just chilling by myself at the house every day. Just, Martin, no, I ain't about to do that. So I healed with, kicking it with little chicks on the side here and there, doing my thing, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't take none of them serious for real. I really didn't. I mean, did I want to with a couple of them? I'm just like, yeah, but I'm like, nah, I'm just having a little bit too much fun. So that's just how it is with some men. Like we just, I know some women that could just sit back and don't deal with no dudes unless they be lying saying that they ain't got no little slide throughs coming through. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of them be lying, but they probably got some slide throughs coming through. But you got to take the time out to heal, man. You have to. You could use that, like I said, you could use that past experience as a roadmap during your healing process to figure out what you learned from them past, mistakes or past relationships prior to moving on to somebody else. Because again, everyone is not responsible. Every new person that you meet is not responsible for what happened to you. They're not. You have to have a individual experience with that person alone. You have to have that individual experience. You can't lump people into a box and say, this is what every person like this gonna do. This is what every black person gonna do. This is what every white person is gonna do. This is what every Chinese person is gonna do. It don't work like that. Individual experience. And I can even say I can tie racism into that. I could tie prejudice into that. I'm telling you, it can go on and on. But just during that healing process, man, just make sure you're making the right decisions, and not because of the past hurt, right? So when you decide to move on, make sure it's for the right reason, and you balanced out everything that went bad over here in here first before moving on. All right? Okay, moving on. Let me get a sip of my coffee real quick. Is that cool? It's cool with you? It's cool with you? Moving on, man. This next topic, man. Again, I'm wrapped up in this one too, man. I love to share stuff about myself with people, man. Because it's so easy for people to just talk about everybody else, but never say anything about yourself. That's easy. That's the easy route. Not me. Men. Hey, man, we got to stop pretending that we don't have feelings. We have to. We got to stop acting so damn tough all the time. Like you don't never feel like you want to cry, man. You don't never feel sad. You don't never feel depressed. Your feelings ain't never hurt. You're just super tough all the time, man. Why do y'all think some women treat us the way that they do? As soon as you get, and again, I said some women. Let me stop. Let me go back. If I didn't say some women, I'm saying some women. Why do you think some women, not all, treat us the way that they do? The minute they see you looking a little sad, or you just looking a little vulnerable, like they see when your feelings is hurt, some of them pile it on. And they just keep piling it on because they thinking, you a man. You supposed to be tough, right? You a tough guy. Because we did this to ourselves, man. We're sitting up here making it seem like we just these tough creatures that we all 300 soldiers. You know the movie 300? We act like we all them. You think none of them cried? I mean, let's just be real. I mean, if it was like a true story, I don't believe it was a true story. But we got to stop sitting around here, walking around, being so tough all the time, acting like our feelings never get hurt. We act like nothing bothers us, man. And then you sit up there and you suffer in silence, man. You suffer in silence, and then eventually some people end up taking their own lives, man. Because men act like we're afraid to cry in front of a woman. We're afraid to express ourselves. Like, I heard a dude on a talk show, not a talk show, but a podcast recently, just talking about, they always do this thing where they talk about, this is a man code violation if you do this. This is a man code violation if you say that or you do this. And everything that he say, like it's a man code violation, it'd be the craziest thing, man. A dude could say one word, a word, like cry or I'm sleepy. He'll call it a man code violation. No man should say cry. No man should say, oh, I was happy when I saw him. Like stuff like that, right? Like, and it's that way of thinking that have people messed up out here, man. Like, we have feelings, man. And look, I'm going to tell you right now, I used to be that dude, man. Like, I used to try to act like, just like be so tough about everything. And eventually, you know what happened to me? That pressure started building. It just built. It was just building up. And then one day I just got dizzy, man. I'm like, damn, man, I feel like I'm about to faint. And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, man, what is going on with me? I wasn't releasing none of how I felt about anything. I was always stuffing it in because I felt like I had to be tough all the time, man. And I see it every day, man. A lot of y'all street dudes be out there, and I'm just like, y'all just shoot each other all the time. Y'all always in beef with each other all the time. And for real, for what? It's because y'all don't want to talk to each other. It's not cool to just have a conversation with each other. No, I gotta use my gun on you, or we gotta fight. Nah, man, you ain't got to all the time. You don't have to. It's okay to just talk it out. Like, I have something inside of me. I don't know what it is. And maybe one of y'all can call it out. I think my cousin said it to me one time, but when I watch like videos and I see people in drama, for some odd reason, my mind always goes there. I always put myself there, and I always find a way to fix the problem before it even goes to guns and knives and wrestling on the ground. Yeah, I said wrestling on the ground. I always find a way to take myself there, and I always wish that I could be there. Even though I know what kind of world we live in. Sometimes you got to meet that fire at the door with fire, and sometimes things get out of hand. But at the end of the day, when I see this stuff, and let me, because I ain't even gonna do that. I was gonna say women too, but no, this is about the men now, because I've been seeing a lot of drama with men nowadays, and I just feel like this need to be directed right at the men. Like, hey, y'all really got to stop this pretending, though, man. You got to stop pretending that you don't have feelings, man. Even in relationships, man. If you get in a relationship with a woman that you played that tough guy role with all the time, when you met her, you just tough. You this street dude. You a tough guy. Blah blah blah. You try to act all tough. Don't be surprised, man. At one of the moments come up where you gotta be, because it's gonna eventually you ain't gonna be able to hold it in no more. You gonna crack. I don't care if it's a funeral. It's gonna be something that happened with one of your kids, and this is just gonna make you sad, and you're gonna want to cry, and it's just gonna come out of you. And you better hope that, since this gonna be like your first time being vulnerable around her, you better hope that she don't look at you funny. You better hope. And I'm not saying that all women do that, but there are women out there that do that. When they see a dude, he this tough guy, and then all of a sudden he start acting all vulnerable, he cry a little bit, then they jump on you, bruh. They jump on your neck, and they turn on you for real, because they looking at you like you a weak lion. But if you come through the door just being real, man, be real. If you got feelings about something, say it, man. You ain't got to stuff them inside. I used to be that person, man. I felt like, man, if I say something, man, if I talk too much to her about how I feel, she gonna look at me like I'm soft, so I ain't even gonna say nothing, thinking that was smart. I ain't even gonna say nothing, man, because she gonna know how I feel by just me being mad. Really? So you basically just turned her into a mind reader. So when she do come in there and she start talking to you about what she think, about how she think you feel, guess what she gonna start doing? What she doing? She just gonna be telling you what she think, and not really nothing you really thinking. Maybe a few things she might hit here and there, but only you hold the keys to that car, man. It's okay to talk, man. It's okay to say how you feel. I don't have a problem with it. Like I said, I used to. And I wouldn't say anything. I'll just go in the other room, because that's what a lot of us do, right? I'm going to just go out in this garage, man. Technical difficulties. Yeah, man, but a lot of dudes will be like, man, I'm about to go out in this garage, man. I'm gonna go to the store, man, and I'm gonna just stuff my feelings. I'm just gonna walk away and ride by myself. And we thinking this the whole time by ourselves, man. The whole time. Instead of going back in there like, hey, look, I don't like this, man. I feel like this, that, and this. Trust me, it's easy to go the other route where you just stuff your feelings and you don't say nothing, man. It's easy. But that easy leads to a tougher relationship, man. It just leads to a tougher relationship. And I ain't even going, we can go outside of relationships with this, man. We can go outside of relationships with this. We can even just talk about interactions with people, man, just dealing with people, period, in life. Like a lot of men, we don't really express how we feel, right? We'll just let it get to the point where Okay, I'm not gonna say what I really need to say to you, or how I'm not gonna say how I feel. I'm just gonna let you say what you saying out of anger. I'm gonna say what I'm saying back to you out of anger, and not really the real conversation that we need to have. And then we gonna get to the point where we gonna fight. You see what I'm saying? Like, it can go so far, man. Like, not talking, not saying how you really feel, man. Stuffing your feelings in, man. You don't have to act tough. Every situation doesn't have to be tough guyed out. You know what I'm saying? You can have a regular conversation, man. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the next topic, man. This one is about to be some salty people in the house, man. Some salty people in the house, but I don't care. I don't care, man. We're going to get right into it. So I was scrolling through Facebook, right? And maybe this person that's on Facebook, hey, you might see me talking about your post, right? So I saw her post. A girl put this post up, and the post read, "Men, would you pay a bill for your baby mama that benefits your child, lights, gas, etc., if you don't live with them?" First of all, lights, gas, etc., I got to pay them same bills at my house too. I'm just saying that. So dudes jumped in that comment section and just destroyed her. So, and some dudes just simply said no. And I get it. I'm one of them dudes that would say no. I didn't comment on the post, but I was just like, in my mind, no. And I'm going to get to why I said no in a minute. Okay, so she jumped in the comment section right after everybody destroyed her and said, all y'all that said no should be ashamed. Man or woman, you should provide whatever your child needs, regardless of who it may or may not benefit. My father did. Guess what her father did? My father paid my mama whole rent, and she was with a whole nother man. And this is, in her mind, this is what she said. It was kind of a flex, but he got bread. What? He got bread. So she ate that little ish. LOL. Always bought Christmas gifts for my brothers who weren't even his children too. Because when you're mature, you know what it's really about. The kids. Hold on. Okay. So let me go ahead and jump on that. First of all, I know I talked about this in the past. When you in a relationship with somebody, y'all have kids together, you go your way, I go my way, we ain't together no more. We're going to have to figure it out for our child, right? If I didn't hear her mention one time, right, in that situation, she didn't talk none about this. If the man or woman in a situation, whoever's well off, right? So if you in a situation where we break up and our kid is gonna go with you, our kid's gonna go with you, just based on how it's set up in certain situations. The kid is 9 times out of 10 gonna go with mom, right? If you know for a fact that life is kicking you in the back and you over there struggling to survive with our kid, not one time did I hear her mention, hey, did you offer to let your child go live with dad since you're struggling until you get on your feet? I never hear this. I always hear women talking about what men should be doing with their money when they have a baby mama who out here struggling. That same gas bill that mama got to pay, that same light bill that mama got to pay, the dad got to pay a bill too. And guess what else the dad got to have? A roof for that when their kid come over? Got to have a roof, right? Got to have somewhere for your kid to sleep, right? Don't they got to have a room too? If the struggle is so real, how about you sit down instead of asking a man for his money, that man for his money to pay your lights and gas bill, which you probably going to need again next month? You struggling this month. And if they about to cut the lights and gas off, I mean, I know a little bit, they'll let that run for a minute. They'll let your bill stack up on you for a minute before they cut your lights and gas off. I mean, if that's just my experience. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. So if you're already behind that much, I already know it's going to come up again and again and again and again. You got a cell phone. You got Netflix, Hulu, HBO. Let me stop. I don't know what that lady got. What she got. I don't know. But I'm just saying that you offer at any point to let y'all child go live with dad until you got on your feet. See, I got that phone call recently. And I'm going to just leave it there. And we in the process of making that happen right now. And I'm going to leave that there. But you know what she didn't ask me for? She didn't ask me for money to help pay her bills. She didn't. It was a conversation about my child coming here. Cool, deal. You see what I'm saying? Not one time did I hear you say that in your post. You're in the comment section or nothing. You didn't say that. It was just automatically what your daddy did for your mama. And really, you want to know why I think your daddy did that for your mama? Because he was trying to flex on the other man. Right? He trying to flex on the other dude that's over there. And for real, man, I ain't even going to do it because it might be your mom probably was still letting your dad hit. For real. And then flip to your mom. What type of, you stay with a man. This is why you end up in situations like this. You staying with a man who living up in your crib and he's allowing your baby daddy to pay all y'all bills. Come on, man. Now, I know we just talked about that tough guy stuff, but hey, man, you ain't about to be paying my woman's bills, bruh. And I'm here. We both in this house and you about to, man, look, you ain't my daddy. He might as well be your daddy now if you living up in the house with a woman and her baby daddy paying all y'all bills. And I get it. In some situations, you might have somebody like a football player, NBA player, entertainer, and he got a baby mama. Excuse me, and he bought her this whole house and he just pay all the bills. I get it. If it's like that type of situation and then she decided to go get with a dude that work at Walmart, what you gonna do? There ain't nothing you can really do about that. But nah, I'm still cool. Like, I'm gonna try my best, man. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, man, did she offer one time at any point to let the child go live with dad? Was that even an option? Hey, my lights and gas about to get cut off. Can our kid come stay with you till I get on my feet? Yeah, cool. And don't say that you can't live without lights and gas. Trust me, I've been there. I did it before. You know where I was going to take showers? At Planet Fitness. Yes, I talk about myself because I love it. I love to share my pain because I see a lot of people just like to live. Social media make you think people be living these extravagant lives, really, and they never talk about their struggles. I'm just like, man, the world would be so much easier mentally to live in if people would just keep it real about what life really is for them, instead of pretending for everybody. But to jump into my experience with the whole trying to be that nice baby daddy thing, trying to be that nice guy, right? Trying to look out for the place where my kid was resting her head. Listen here. I was in a situation just like that. And you know what I did? I went over there and helped get a house for them. I went and put the lights in my name, put the gas in my name, and I didn't even live there. We wasn't even together. But guess who did it? Me. Because guess what? I was trying to be that dude, my kid live here, man. I need to keep them lights and gas on for them. Cut 2. She ran the bills up. Partially paid some of the bills, let the bills stack up, and then paid a little bit to keep the lights and gas going. And then guess what? She never told me about it. I didn't get the bill because the bill went to that house. It went there. So I never saw the bill. So guess what? Eventually, she left. She moved out that house, moved somewhere else. I'm thinking everything cool. All right, cool. The lights, gas about to get cut off. I get the bills. They over $2,000 each. Lights and gas ran them up over $2,000 each. Ain't say nothing to me, right? She done moved into this new place, and I'm like, she definitely didn't transfer the gas or the lights there, because I'm like, she ain't never say nothing to me. She never even said nothing about the bills. I just saw the bills. I just got it on. I looked at my credit report. That's what I did. I looked at my credit report. Boom. They put it on my credit. They hit my credit with it. Sent my bills to collections. Ran them up $2,000 something each, lights and gas. You don't want to know what she said when I said to her? You know what? No, let me take that back. You want to know what she said when I asked her about the bills? Well, you left me. So she played me. So because I broke up with her, and not to mention, I broke up with her before we even got to this. She moved into this house and this apartment. I mean, in these lights and gas. I was just being the nice guy, the nice baby daddy. But her payback for me leaving her, breaking up with her, was the lights and the gas. That was my payback. That was her payback for me. Yeah. So you said what again? What was that post? The post said, men, would you pay a bill for your baby mama that benefits your child, lights and gas, etc., if you don't live with them? No. If it's that hard, hey, have my kids send my kid or kids over here with me. My lights and gas are still on, so they can take showers, take a bath, and when the heat come on, they can sit by the heater and feel warm. So no, I'm not doing that for you. You got me. Man, if you don't go on, man. If you don't go on. And I know some people may not agree with me. They may be like, no, you got to do whatever you need to do. Man, look. I'm going to say it again. If things are too hard, they need to make a system where you ain't got to be married. If y'all got a kid together and y'all live together and y'all decide y'all don't want to be together no more, create a system that says, hey, we need to look at the financials on both ends and see who's fit enough to be able to house the children. Instead of saying, no, automatically when mommy and daddy break up, mommy gets the kids. And then if daddy wants to get shared custody, we got to go through court and pay thousands of dollars to get a lawyer and do all this and go pay this and pay that and pay this. Nah, we shouldn't have to do all that. Why we got to go through all that? When we can just take this paperwork, balance out your income versus my income and say, this is where our child needs to be. And we can split the time shared down the middle if you can manage that time split. But they don't want to have that conversation, man. They don't. They don't want to have that conversation. It's always just kind of beat men down and make us feel like we always got to be the superheroes in the story. We got to be the savior all the time, man. And that's just not okay, man. It's not okay. We shouldn't always have to be the savior. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. And that's going to be a wrap for this week's episode of Let's Talk Podcast, man. Again, smash that like button, drop a comment down below, hit that bell notification so when I do post, you will get the notification. All of my social media stuff is down below. I got a link tree now, so if you click on the link tree link, it'll take you directly to Linktree and you'll find all of my social media information there. And you can mess with me that way, all right? But until the next time, my people, peace.